Oh, I clicked a button. Hold on. There we go. Alright, today we have the option of doing talks, charity, and drive. Talking isn't really my forte. It's not really what I'm feeling today. Charity and drive seems like they could be interesting. I kind of want to leave charity because I don't know what kind it is, but it seems like the most interesting out of all of these. So I kind of want to do drive first, just to see, even though I feel like we went on a lot of drives throughout this entire thing. So I don't know. But I think that's what we're gonna do today. Alrighty. Like a lazy cat, you stretched your arms above your head and yawned, blinking your eyes sleepily. The day was warm and pleasant, and you were lounging on the couch in the living room, finding it difficult to do much in that moment. Alright, what happened last time? I think last time we were in a flea market, correct? Or something like a flea market, and we were shopping? Your moms and Liz had gone out shopping, looking for some new items for your sister to take back and decorate her college dorm with. They had asked if you wanted to go with them, but you declined. For you, today was all about relaxation. Cove had dropped by to spend some time with you, content to join in with doing nothing. The two of you had been chatting idly as you lazed around, talking about the other things you had planned for the summer. I think we can both be... I want to be stretched out on a couch, to be honest. You had your feet propped up on one of the armrests and stuffed a comfy cushion beneath your head, totally settled in. The day dragged on, and you found yourself yawning more and more often between conversation. You had almost dozed off completely when suddenly a buzz rang out, disturbing the silence. Your phone was on its charger in the kitchen, so it couldn't have been that. Cove pulled his own phone from his back pocket and checked the screen. It's my mom. Alright, Cove, what's your mom got to say? After leaning forward and setting the phone on the coffee table in front of him, Cove hit the speaker button. Hey, what's up? Bish is here too. Hi, Cove. Hello, Bish. I'll never get over our name. It's too good. You made a small noise in response. Hey, Mom 3. You're interrupting a very important to... Okay, no. I think we're just gonna say hi. Cove, baby, I wanted to ask you if you have a plan for all your junk. Cove made a small, outraged grumble, giving you a sidelong glance. Oh, our mom's hair looks so pretty. Look how pretty that is. That's not junk, it's important. Though you couldn't see it, you could tell by the sound of her voice that Kyra was smiling. But is that a yes or a no about the plan? He looked over at you, his mouth pulled into a tight smile. I'm still thinking about it. I'm gonna take the phone off speaker so me and Mom can go over this. It'll be quick. Without waiting for an answer, Cove took the phone from the table and pushed himself to his feet. He hit the speaker button again to turn it off and continued the conversation with his mom as he headed towards the door. The lock clicked behind him as he exited the house, and you sank back into the cushions, idly trying to decide what to do next. After electing to grab your phone from its charger, you resumed your position on the couch, tapping away at the screen. Your mind drifted away from thoughts of Cove and his phone call, with all the many ways your device could distract you. It was an effective enough way to kill the time, and you had managed to do various little things when the door opened again and Cove returned. I hope you managed without me. You watched as Cove strolled over to where you were still sitting. Is everything okay? Everything's fine. He sighed dramatically and left his forehead fall against the couch back. I know I just came back from visiting my mom, but... Well, last time I flew there, every time I just fly there and back, and so there's a lot of stuff I've left over there because I couldn't take it all with me on the plane. Now that I'm not going to be visiting her like I used to, I'll have to get it at some point. He gave you a look that you thought seemed almost guilty. Some of it's pretty big, so it's not really practical to have it shipped. I can drive over and pick it up. When will you go? That's what my mom wanted to know. She thought it'd be best to do it soon before things got even busier. He paused and let out a soft sigh, his shoulders dropping, as if he really didn't want to be the one to have to tell you that. I think it's probably the idea that makes the most sense too. It'd be good to get over it and done with. I'll be setting out as soon as I can. Another trip already then. He sighed and dropped his head again. You could tell he wasn't any happier to having to go than you were about seeing him leave. Oh, we're gonna go on a road trip. We're gonna go get Cove stuff. You didn't know what to say. Looking up again, you met his bright aquamarine eyes, finding a sad smile tugging on his lips. There we go again with that aquamarine. I don't know if any of you all grew up reading Wattpad, but that was a that was a huge description that they would use. A very common one. I wonder when this was made, because if it was around the time that... I'm sure it was after Wattpad, all those Wattpad stories and stuff when I was younger. Especially since they're still making DLCs and stuff for it. You could come with me. What? You should come. My visits to my mom are usually special, so she and I can spend time together, but this time it's not like that. It's an errand. My plan is to drive out one morning, spend the night, and then we can pack up the car the next morning and turn right back around. It'd only take 2 days for the whole thing. You thought to yourself for a moment, amused by Cove's excitement. Are you sure it'd be okay if I go? Why not? I probably could use the company. It's a pretty long drive for one person. A sprinkling of color spread over his cheeks as he admitted quietly. I'd just really like to have you around. Aw. Plus, you'd have a chance to see my mom in person. I know she'd be happy to see you again. You shrugged casually, smiling as you officially let Cove talk you into it. Let's do it. A road trip with the two of us would be fun. I'll have to let my moms know, but as long as we've got nothing else important on the days we pick, then there's no reason I wouldn't be able to go. Cove's face brightened, and you were sure the prospect of having a travel buddy made the task seem less tiresome. I'll call my mom back and tell her. We can pick a time right now. You spent some time together going over your schedules and making plans for when you could take the trip. You needed to fit it around both of your work schedules, which took a bit of doing, but came together in the end. Luckily, it was only a 2-day trip, so finding a couple free days in a row wasn't impossible. It wasn't long before the dates were finally set and all the plans were made. You were excited. A short trip sounded like the perfect way to spend some time. You could listen to music, eat snacks, and enjoy the open road. No matter what you thought about things, the morning when you were due to leave arrived. Already. Alright. It was cooler than usual, the sun barely peeking over the tops of the houses. You stood outside your house on the footpath near the road, waiting for Cove. You yawned loudly, covering your mouth with the back of your hand. Mornings were always a struggle. Hold on, guys, I'm yawning. Man, I catch yawns like no one else. If you mention the word yawn, I'm probably going to yawn. Alright, even though that was only a half yawn, so that's just irritating. With your travel bag clutched in one hand, you watched as Cove finished packing up his car. He had organized all sorts of things, water bottles, snacks, and who knows what else. Cove insisted he had everything under control and didn't need help. At least you could rest easy knowing that it was all taken care of. As you waited, you glanced over Cove's car. You knew it well. It used to belong to Mr. Holden, and when Cove had learned to drive, it passed on to him. His dad had taken the opportunity to get a newer one. It was pretty old at this point, but had served both of them well so far. You just hoped it had enough life left in it to survive the trip, as long as the one you were embarking on. The slam of the door closing made you jump. You snapped back to focus and saw Cove was walking towards you. He dusted his hands off on his pants and tilted his head towards the car. That's it, ready to go? Heck yeah, we're ready. He smiled and stepped aside, giving you a space to situate your own bag where you wanted it. Once everything was safe inside, he glanced back at you.
All right.
We should get started. It's gonna be a ways to go. Smile back with a nod. The two of you climbed into the car and buckled up. Cove in the driver's seat and you sitting shotgun, his eyes moved to you.
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming on this trip with me. Of course, it's no problem. After checking the mirrors and starting the engine, you pulled out of the driveway and the trip began. With a small sigh, you got cozy in your seat and watched the familiar houses in your neighborhood pass by. Cove reached over to turn on the radio. A crackle of static mixed with the old snippets of old song filled the car as he flipped through the stations. Wait, I forget where Cove's mom lives. Where exactly are we headed? Mr. Holden's car was in good condition, but it was, well, older. There was no way to plug in a phone to play music, so the radio had to do. Eventually, he settled on a classic rock station before sitting back and resting both hands on the wheel. Is this okay? Yeah, I don't mind classic rock. He smiled, happy with the answer. Time flew by, and with the scenery outside your window become more and more unfamiliar. It was a little fluttery, being alone in the car with Cove for so long. There was nowhere else you would have rather been. Every now and then you look over and sneak a glance at him, wondering what he was thinking about. Eventually Cove broke the silence, clearing his throat softly before he spoke. It's been too long since you and I have spent time with my mom. I know she still comes to the neighborhood sometimes, but it's not even once a year. I'm always going to hers. I'm happy the two of us are doing this. Same, bro. Your elbow resting on the windowsill, you gazed out at a world that was slowly coming to life as the morning rolled by. The sun climbed higher in the sky, forcing you to adjust the visor overhead to keep it out of your eyes. Do you mind reaching the back for me? Cove gave you a sidelong glance as he drove, indicating with a nod of his head and a tiny smile. I want some chips, the salt and vinegar ones. Ooh, I love me some salt and vinegar chips. I like sea salt chips more, though. Oh, that's a great flavor, obviously. Eat whatever you want to, I brought a bunch of everything. Stretching out the seatbelt to give yourself space, you twisted in your spot and reached in the bag, holding the snacks. It took a bit of effort to sort through the collection of goodies stuffed inside, but eventually the bag of chips crinkled beneath your fingers as you pulled them out and sat back in your seat. Whoa, that was a long sentence. There was no breaks, except for that one little comma. Do you mind opening it? Oh my gosh, is he gonna have us feed him too? That's what my partner does. He's like, feed me, please. I'm driving. His eyes lit up at the prospects of the snacks, and you shook your head in amusement, popping the top of the bag. You poured a few chips into your hand, you held out the bag towards him. Oh my gosh, we're not asking to feed him. He's a grown man. Just hold out the bag. With a smile, he dug into the bag noisily, picking out a couple of chips between his fingers and popping them into his mouth. The sound of crunching and rustling filled the car as he reached over from time to time, taking a few more. Oh my gosh, I hate the sound of other people chewing. I can barely stand the sound of me chewing. I can't do it. The only thing in this entire world that I enjoy listening to eat is my dog, because he is so cute. Ultimately, he elected to drag out an entire handful at once, losing a few of the chips to the floor. After that, you rolled up on the top of the bag and stowed the chips safely in the back again. When you turned to the front, it was to find Cove crushing the fistful of chips into his mouth, crunching loudly. He wiped his hand on his pants absentmindedly before gripping the wheel and spilling crumbs all over the place. Oh my gosh. You're like a little kid. He snorted and pulled a hand from the wheel once more to flick the salty residue from his fingers at you. Ew! That's nasty! You raised an arm to defend yourself. You shook your head at the mess of crumbs that fell from his mouth as he chuckled. Ew, that's so nasty. Ugh, I can't look. I can't look. That's so nasty. The hours drifted by much the same way as that, with the two of you snacking and chatting as the day stretched on. It was fairly calm and quiet, traveling along the open road, and you found little in the way of interruptions. At one point, you passed "Welcome to Nevada" sign, and Cove gave a tiny cheer. He was in disbelief that the two of you were seriously all the way in another state like this. Oh, so it's Nevada. I've never been to Nevada. Is it nice? Eventually, you had to stop for gas and made a detour to a small diner to grab a proper meal that didn't consist of chips and candy. After refueling both the car and your stomachs, the driver was back on. Just as the sun began dipping beneath the horizon and bathing the sky in a wash of orange light, Cove informed you that there wasn't much left to go. Oh, hi Kana! Thank you for the raid. How have you been? It's been a while. Hello! Oh, thank you for following. Thank you, Just Alan. Hello! How was your stream? I hope it was fun. I think you were playing Pokemon, right? I've been wanting to play Pokemon so bad. Oh my gosh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for following Alpaca Bear. Aw. I love bears. They're my favorite animal. Hello, hello. It's so nice to see you. It was fun playing with Rance and Alan. Oh, yes, how fun. I know Rance was looking for some people to play with. Yeah. It's nice to see you. We're just doing a moment in our life or a chapter. But yeah. Oh, that's the cutest little emote. That's so cute. Hello. It's just been a pretty comfy day today. Well, alright. How am I doing? Well, I'm doing alright. I was at the doctor's yesterday, so I wasn't able to stream. Hello! Oh my gosh, you do have the cutest emotes. Yeah. Right now we're on a road trip in the game to go see our Cove's mother. So we're gonna go visit his mom and pick up his stuff for him. Sus emotes? Oh my gosh, those are sus. I love them though. Here, let me put a chat on the screen real quick. Oh, I do have chat on the screen. I didn't even see it. Hello. Oh my goodness. Alright. Aw, that's such a nice surprise. I never know what to say when people raid me. I always get nervous. But hello, welcome. Yeah, apparently we're in Nevada right now, by the way. I've never been to Nevada, but I hear it's nice, so... I hear it's nice. We're almost there, apparently. I'm doing great. Thank you, Kana. I want to play with you and Rance and Ladine soon. We're supposed to be doing the, whatever it is, the Jump King spin, like, it's like based on Jump King, but with friends or whatever. I've been wanting to do that with you guys. Rance mentioned it a while back. Yeah. Anytime you guys want to do it, just message in the group and I'll be happy to. You heard it's very flat? Yeah, I'm guessing Nevada's flat. I don't know. I don't know geography. But I heard it's pretty. I don't know, I've never been. Maybe I should go before I start talking smack about Nevada. Oh, should we take shifts driving through the trip, or you helped Cove stay alert while he drove? I think it's only fair to take shifts driving, right? You can't just let him drive the whole time. The route is fairly straightforward, and you had enough practice with driving to feel comfortable doing so. When night eventually fell into the blanket of darkness, the drive finally came to an end? Oh my goodness! Is that from Chainsaw Man? I haven't seen it yet. Is it good? It looks like a little chainsaw dude. That's really cute. Alright, we made it. Cove pulled into the parking lot of Kyra's apartment building, the glow of the car lights disappearing as he turned off the engine and let out a heavy sigh. We made it! We're here! Heck yeah, we made it. Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched any of these before, our name is Bish Bish. and I'll never change it. I'm gonna lay down. My back is dying. Oh, okay. Have a great lay down. Have a great lay down. I hope your back feels better. Mine's killing me too, but I wanna stream a little bit. Have a great stream ahead. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Yes, rest well. The two of you exchanged tired smiles, having successfully and safely completed one half of the trip. You were relieved to have actually arrived and eager to get out of the car and stretch your legs. You took the stairs up to the building together. After a knock, you were abruptly met by a flash of green hair as Kyra opened the door and immediately took her son in her arms. Oh, she's got a nice little apartment. I love how there's green in every aspect of their lives. There he is, my gigantic baby boy. Okay. She squeezed him for a moment and then pulled back so she could examine his face. Are you even taller than the last time I saw you? Cove gave her a fond look as she patted the tops of his shoulders proudly. Hello, Rance! Thank you for the raid! Kana was telling me you guys had a good stream. Hello! Yeah, there's Rance. Thanks for the raid, guys. That's really sweet. I was just telling Kana how I've been wanting to play with you and you guys in Ladine for the, I forget what it's called, the Jump King game that you wanted to play. Heck yeah, double raid. But yeah, I hope your stream went well. I'm assuming it did. Hey yo, we out here? Heck yeah. Also, I seen your model got unlocked. Congratulations, it looks so good. I remember seeing the progress photos and I was like, man, that's gonna look snazzy. You look really good. You're so excited for it? Well, yeah. Heck yeah. Thank you for the follow. The artist even showed up to say hi. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my goodness. Paws has the cutest emotes. I've only seen Paws when they streamed with you, but they have the cutest emotes. That's so cute. 100 followers? Are you joking? Really? Oh heck yeah, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, where did my chat overlay go? Hold on. Oh, here it is. If we get to 200, oh, we made it to 101, like the Dalmatians. Yeah, it is a big milestone. When we make it to 200, I'm wearing a maid outfit. I already have it picked out, so. But yeah, that's so great. Thank you guys. Aw. I feel loved. Thanks for raiding me. I'm glad you guys had a good stream. I can't wait to be able to get my Pokemon game and play with you guys. I miss Pokemon so much. The other day I turned on a Twitch. I don't know who was streaming it, but they were streaming Pokemon Black version 2, and I just literally turned it on in the background so I could hear the gameplay. I miss it so much. Stream was fun though. I pulled a Kana and told her to play Pokemon the day before. Oh heck yeah. No, that's great. I haven't seen any gameplay on the Pokemon Violet or Scarlet. I haven't seen any of that yet. But I'm excited. I don't want any spoilers, I think that's why. But I have watched gameplays of the older games. Oh, and I've seen a little bit of Arceus too. I heard Arceus was a little disappointing, but it came out around my birthday, so I still want to get it to play it. But yeah, I really miss Pokemon. Oh, wait, Rance, you just came in. We're at Cove's mom's house. We drove all the way to Nevada to get here. It's good, just the open world part is dry. Well, that's supposed to be the best part. Wasn't that like their big advertiser point? Was that it's an open world game? Because if it's... I love open world games, okay? Like, those are probably my favorite types of games. And if the open world part is the worst part, that's just gonna... That's gonna make me sad. Sad boy times. I'll probably still end up getting it though. Yeah, and it's dry as fuck besides the Pokemon themselves. Oh yeah, I keep seeing people posting all their shiny Pokemon, and I'm like, I want shiny Pokemon too! I'm gonna have shiny Pokemon. I'm surprised this game is this long. Yeah, if you're talking about the game we're playing now, it is very long. I think we still have one, like a part of this chapter or whatever, we still have 2 other moments, and then after that I think we have one more chapter that has a bunch of moments in it. You're doing a playthrough Arceus after you finish Scarlet? Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, I have a capture card. I just haven't bought my Switch yet, so hopefully my capture card actually works because it's an older type of capture card and my PC is like a monster. It's like all new stuff. So I don't know if it'll work or not when I finally do get my Switch, but I'm still excited. You're gonna sleep now. Enjoy the game and I hope you feel better soon. Oh, thank you, Kana. I hope you have a great sleep. Yeah, it's probably really late where you are. My goodness, you stayed up late. But anyway, have a great night. Sweet dreams. It should if you need any help, I can try, but no promises. Yeah, my partner was gonna help me with it once I get my Switch because he's the one letting me use it. He actually owned it for a few years. But yeah, so he's gonna try and help me. I just don't know. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, which is what makes me nervous. Nice to meet you as well. I'll lurk here while finish up Pokemon. Alright, thank you. You can I love people when they come into chat, even if it's just to tell me they're lurking, because then I just get to know that they're there with me. And it feels so nice. That was my fault. I should sleep since I've been up since 8 p.m. You've been up a long time. You mean you've been up since 8 p.m.? Like yesterday? That's a long time, Rance. That's a very long time. Yes? Oh my goodness. On the days before my seizure or whatever it was this past week, I did not sleep for over 4 days. It was like 4 to 5 days I didn't sleep. It was terrible. You had work? Yeah. You worked the night shift, I'm guessing. I work night shifts too. I like night shifts more than morning shifts though, because I've never been a morning person, so it's just easier for me to get my brain working than force Kana and Alan to play with me. I'm sure they had fun. I'm sure even though you forced them, they had fun. Here, I'm gonna get rid of this. But yeah, this game has been super long. I still enjoy it though. Oh, where was I? Oh, you say that every time I'm here. It doesn't even make sense right now. My last visit wasn't that long ago. Oh, okay. I know where we are now. My sleep is already messed up, so I'm just here and haven't talked to you in ages. I wanted to see how you have been. Aw, thank you, Rance. You can message me anytime. I know we both get busy, but I mean, yeah. Besides the doctor's visits and everything, I've been doing pretty well. I don't know what the coming weeks are gonna look like, but hopefully I'll be able to still stream and everything. Because, I mean, this is one of the best parts of, this is one of the only good parts of having to be at home all the time, is I get to stream and hang out with people, so I'm hoping that that doesn't change. But thank you for stopping by. I hope you get some rest. Nobody needs to be up that late. I feel like I'm too old to stay up anymore. When I get like tired at like 10 p.m. and I'm like, I gotta go to bed, and then I end up staying awake because of my insomnia, but I feel so old. Alright, now Kyra's laughing at us. Bish, it's so nice you came along with, and as a bonus, you both arrived in one piece. Did she expect us to just crash the car? One day my body will give in, and then I go. Oh my goodness. Rance, just go to sleep. No. Don't wait till that point where your body just gives up. Get some sleep while you can. I feel like I don't have that many options this chapter. Like, it's not giving me, hold on. Sorry, there's something in my eye. Anyway, it's not giving me that many options. It's just mostly dialogue this time. Kyra beamed at you both, and while you would have loved nothing more than to settle down and rest after the drive, you could see she wasn't going to let you go that easily. How was the trip? I admit, I was just a pinch worried. We barely made it. We'll let Cove answer. It was fine, no problems for us. I feel like they don't give me any good options anymore. They're all like either super rude or super forward. Kyra clapped her hands together, the bracelets around her wrists jingling. I'm so proud. I can hardly believe how mature you both are. Where did all those smarts come from? I don't know, Kyra. I'll go be a good person and go lay down and lurk. Okay, Rance. Have a good lurk. Get some rest. I know you need it. Cove ran a hand over his hair with an awkward chuckle. I don't know, maybe I got some from my parents. His mom looked up at him deeply, her eyes glistening as she shook the sentimentality off with a wave of her hand. You have to be half asleep already, huh? I don't want to keep you up much longer. Early morning and any woozies. What does that even mean? What the hell is any woozies? Any whoosies. Oh, wait. No, I still don't get it. I still don't get what that means. How do you want to deal with the sleeping arrangements? I've only got my own room and Cove's, though the living room couch isn't bad. You keep your bed, Mom. Bitch can use mine and I'll sleep on the couch or the floor. Whatever's easiest. It doesn't matter for one night. That's sweet of him to give us his bed. Kyra gave him a skeptical look, her lips bent into a teasing grin. I wonder why I don't believe you'll stay on the floor when Bish is right there in your bed. Ew! What is she saying? Cove froze in shock. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. His cheeks turning a dark beet red, then his eyes narrowed and he scolded her with a harsh whisper. Mom. Mom, don't be embarrassing me. Kyra giggled to herself, but managed to give him an unapologetic look upon seeing he was less impressed by her teasing. I swear, this sentence structure. Sorry, baby, I'm only pointing out the obvious. No, you're just making everybody uncomfortable. I don't know what to say. You put a hand on Cove's arm in show of support. We're just gonna laugh it off, because that's what I would probably do in real life. Thankfully, the tension in the air dissipated as Kyra and Cove chuckled along with you. I'll just say I'll sleep on the couch. He did most of the driving anyway. Cove shook his head, dismissing the idea immediately. You're the guest. I don't want to take your bed. I still don't want to take it from you, and I said it first. The two of you narrowed your eyes at each other stubbornly. Kyra took that as her cue to step in. My house, my rules then, and you know who I have to side with. I'd like you to take the bed, Bish. You hesitated a moment, but it seemed you had to accept the hospitality. With a small sigh, you gave in. All right, we'll take the bed. So, would you be okay with me sleeping on the floor in the room? I'd rather be in there than out in the open in the living room, even if there is the couch. I guess he can sleep there. It's his room. Of course, Kyra's gonna laugh at us. All funny stuff aside, you need to get some sleep for tomorrow. Seems like you're setting yourselves up to not get any. I know that sounds really captious, but I'm a mom. I have to say these things. Listen, I know a lot of big words, but captious or captious? I've never heard that word in my life. I don't know what that means. Come on, we're not little kids having a sleepover. We're responsible adults, right, Bish? Yes, very responsible. We're very responsible. She gave the two of you a suspicious look, and you stood up straighter, trying to prove your point. I'll leave it at that then, for now. Just remember that the walls are thin in this apartment. If you can't settle down and sleep, I might have to separate you. Now I just feel awkward. Kyra clasped her hands together, her bracelets softly tinkling against each other again. It's only getting later, so I better let you prepare for bed. She nodded towards the hallway and gave you a small smile. I'll play hostess for a sec and show you where the bathroom is first, Fish, and where you'll be staying for the night. Alright, you hoisted your travel bag back over your shoulder and followed behind Kyra and down the hallway. Cove shuffled around behind you, disappearing in the bathroom while his mom had you go to the restroom. The apartment was small, but nicely decorated in soft, cool colors, with plenty of artwork hanging on the walls to give it character. It was stylish and exactly what you would have expected from someone like Kyra. Oop, what did I do? After being shown the bathroom and wishing Kyra a good night, you headed to the room and found Cove already there. He had changed into his sleepwear for the night as well and set aside his glasses already. Looking around, you found the bedroom to look much the same as the rest of the apartment, but with small ocean elements you were sure Cove must have enjoyed when he stayed here. Yeah, I mean, Cove's all about the ocean, right? Wait, is this supposed to be Cove's room? This does not look like this would be his room at all. This doesn't look like his personality. I don't know. All in all, the room was pretty neat and clean, though it almost looked more like a hotel. Yeah, it doesn't look like a bedroom at all. Cove only spent a few weeks out of the year there, so it made sense that it wasn't especially lived in. Look at his shirt. I know that I picked that shirt for him, but everything else didn't even look right. What do you think? It's pretty nice, huh? My mom always keeps it clean and everything when I'm not here. Why is his eyebrow raised like that? That's sweet of her. He seemed pleased enough with the response and gave you a small smile before opening the zip on his bag. When you went back to the room, you jumped in bed and under the covers, just as Cove was shuffling into his sleeping bag on the floor. You waited until he was settled in before you flipped off the lights, and a soft glow from outside peeked through the blinds, casting shadows over the floor. You closed your eyes, blocking everything out. Night, Fish. Night, Cove. Sleep well. The room grew quiet as the two of you wound down for the night, and you found yourself listening to the sounds of the city outside the window. The noise out there was so different from what you were used to back home. Cars zooming past and people out having fun instead of crashing waves and the ocean winds cocooning your house in their embrace. Oh man, I can't imagine living by the ocean. That would be so nice to hear that. Cove shifted around in his sleeping bag, making the fabric crinkle loudly. I've outgrown this thing. I should have checked it earlier, but the trip was kind of short notice. Are you sure you don't want the bed? I don't mind trading places. It's alright. It's more important that you're comfortable. You're already doing me a big favor by coming here in the first place. Just let me do this one thing and give you the bed. That's what I want for this trip, okay? Pursing your lips tight, you gave a small nod and admitted defeat. Alright. Thanks, Cove. You made a small noise but said no more. With an accepting sigh, you pulled the covers up under your chin and got comfortable. The next day dawned, bringing it with the sounds of birds chirping happily outside the window. You opened your eyes slowly, letting them adjust to the light as you tried to recall where you were, and remembering the unfamiliar sight of Cove's second bedroom. Honestly, somebody would have to wake me up in this situation. Rise and shine! Cove shook your shoulder and you groaned dramatically and buried your head beneath your pillow. 5 more minutes. We've got to get started. Sitting up in the bed, you let out a yawn and stretched your arms above your head. You felt pretty groggy. That's how I am in the morning. You were used to sleeping in longer than this, and the late night hadn't helped. The two of you were on completely different wavelengths right now. You pulled yourself out of bed, grabbing a fresh change of clothes and your toiletries before heading to the bathroom. After all that, you met Cove back in his room. He was sitting on the floor when you entered, sorting through a bunch of his stuff in his box, determining what to bring and what to leave behind. Can you pull out the stuff in those drawers? He nodded, though he hadn't even looked up from his task, so you knew he wouldn't have seen. Heading over to the drawers, you started the task of taking out various items and setting them on the ground in front of Cove. When you turned around towards the sound of Cove's voice, you found him digging through one of the drawers beneath the bed. There's something I can definitely need to bring. Craning your head, you got a better glimpse of what he was holding. An old, yellowing book. When he opened it, there were a few dried pressed flowers between the pages. Those had been gifts you'd given him for his mom's place. Something for him to remember you by and make his time here less lonely. Oh, he pressed his flowers. That's what I do when people give me flowers. I put them in I either put them in the freezer or I put them in a heavy book. He kept them this whole time. I think we feel emotional. Cove looked up at you when you sniffled quietly, seeming concerned. You wiped away the tears that were building in your eyes, feeling a little silly. He smiled at you, his face softening. Why would you apologize? It's all right. It's wonderful. These are special. It was important having a piece of you with me when we were apart. I feel the same way. That's why I gave them to you. Obviously. Cove smiled, pleased that the feeling was mutual, but then the expression became more amused. Did you keep the souvenirs I brought back? Of course. Another hour passed in silence, and you were happy to see that you were making great progress with Cove's room, with only the closet left to sort through. You took a minute to take a mouthful of water from your bottle and perched on the edge of the bed, feeling productive. Speaking of hydration, I'm gonna get me a drink real quick, guys. I swear, the animation of me drinking looks so funny. You took a minute to take a mouthful. Oh, I just read that. Sorry, guys. Cove glanced over at you and paused, putting down the tape gun he had been using to seal up his boxes. You raised an eyebrow. You know, it's really strange to see you sitting in this room. Why? He frowned a little, his eyes distant and his voice quiet when he spoke next. During the visit to Mom's, when I was sitting alone in this room, I'd sometimes think about how you weren't here. It was a weird feeling at the time that you just weren't around, and now that you are here in this exact place, I don't know how to explain the feeling. He shrugged it off and smiled a little, as though he'd said enough already and didn't want to risk sounding silly. Life is pretty confusing is all. I didn't know you thought about me when you were away. Life makes no sense. I miss you so much when you're gone. I think we tell him we missed him, because we did. And he's obviously telling us that he missed us. His brow crinkled as he looked at you solemnly, his eyes bright with emotion. I missed you too, all the time. It made you feel better to know that somehow, to know that when you were stuck at home missing his company, he was missing yours too. He looked away satisfied, heading over to the closet and the last of the items to be sorted. Before long, every box, closet, and drawer had been thoroughly combed through, with the items either neatly packed up in boxes or organized and returned to their proper place. With a sigh of relief, you glanced around the bedroom and the work you had done together. We're done! Good job to us. I'm gonna change out of my PJs for the drive. When the two of you headed out into the living room, ready to get everything finalized and hit the road, you found Kyra in the kitchen, pouring a cup of tea. Cove headed towards her, leaning casually against the counter that divided the two spaces. You didn't have to get up so early. Are you crazy? Of course I have to see you off before you go. You can't sneak away while I'm out cold. She beamed at him, and in all honesty, seemed more than happy to be up and getting ready for the day. Do you want some breakfast? I've got some muesli or eggs and toast. I've never had muesli. Yeah, I think I said it right. I've never had it, but I've seen it at the store before. It looks alright. Oh, they got fruity cereal too. We should really eat on the road. Kyra smiled sadly and a little disappointed, but she seemed to understand that your time was running thin. I thought you might say that. In that case, I packed you some snacks for the road. Even if you don't end up eating them, take it anyway, just in case. You can always feed them to Cliff when you get home and tell him I said hi. Cove laughed and shook his head, knowing his dad would love nothing more than to polish off whatever food Kyra had prepared for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom. You really didn't have to. I'll definitely eat whatever you've packed. You better save some for me too. Kyra giggled, hiding her mouth behind her hand. There's plenty there for both of you. She returned your smile with one of her own before putting her cup of tea aside. Well, I'll help you get the car packed.
Sure.
The three of you got a move on, taking the boxes from Cove's bedroom and heading down to fill the back seat of the car until there was barely an inch of space left in the back and trunk. With all of the oh my goodness, English. With all of you helping, it only took a couple of trips to move everything, and you were done before you knew it. When it was truly time to say goodbye, you convened back inside the apartment, where Kyra looked over the two of you with a quiet smile. It was great to see you both. Thank you for coming. She gave each of you a hug and felt a little sad that you hadn't been able to spend more time with her. It was good to see you too, Mom. Cove embraced her in return, and the two of them holding each other for a few seconds longer. I'll miss you, but I'll visit again soon.
Of course.
You better. Hey, we should make plans for you to visit us too. I'll let you know when it's settled. Kyra bundled all the stuff she prepared into a bag and handed them over to you. You took a quick peek at what she had packed. There were fruit, nuts, seeds, hard-boiled eggs, and some veggie sticks.
Cool.
Good to see we've got some fresh food options now. The snacks I brought weren't. Kyra shook her head at him and let out a soft laugh, as though she wouldn't have expected anything else. I seriously hope you're feeding yourself better than that at home. Of course, just not on trips. I can live with that then. Honestly, I don't pack very healthy things for trips either. I probably should start doing that. She looked over him fondly, her eyes at least focusing on his face and filling with emotion. I'm going to miss you. Me too. Thank you for letting us come. No problem at all. You're welcome anytime. Kyra put an arm around you both, pulling you in tight to her sides for one final squeeze. Have a safe trip. With a last goodbye, you exited the apartment, though Cove hesitated for a moment in the door, his expression distant. You weren't sure what he was doing, though you tentatively took a step towards him. Is everything okay? Your voice seemed to bring him back to earth, and he shook his head to clear his thoughts, his green hair swaying from side to side. Yeah, let's go. With that, the two of you headed back to the car, ready to make the long trip home. Soon enough, you were on the wide open road with a car full of Cove's things and only one destination. Sorry? Destination? I just said desert nation, I think? Sunset Bird, California. The drive went as smoothly as could be expected, with the morning slowly creeping into midday as the miles flew by. After a while, you switched places with Cove and took over the driving for a couple of hours. The day flew by in a whir of open road and sunshine, and before you knew it, it was early afternoon. By that point, you had already crossed the state line. Cove announced that he had planned a little stop on the way home. He was quite pleased with himself as you arrived at the precipice. Redwood National Park! We're back, baby! We're back to the park. Shaded beneath a canopy of enormous redwood trees, you drove along. When Cove parked the car, you pushed the door to get out, and first thing you did was look up. Enormous redwood trees surrounded you on all sides, their massive trunks shooting straight up into the canopy of foliage overhead. There were too many of them to count, stretching on and on as far as you could see. You squinted against the sunlight that was peeking through the leaves and dancing on the paths around you. It's great, right? He smiled at you from over the roof of the car before glancing around the place fondly. Remember the trip of our families took here that one summer? It was cool going on a journey and seeing the forest in person, even if we didn't stay very long. And I guess we could stay for even less this time, but oh well. It just seemed like a good time to stop by. Who knows when we'll get another chance. His voice got a little softer at the end. It seemed to be bittersweet for him, being in a place he was so fond of, but not having the time to appreciate it fully. I think we're happy to stop. Brings us back, right? Thanks for bringing me here. Cove smiled, shoving his hands in his pockets and dipping his head. No problemo. The two of you walked around for a while, completely dwarfed by the sheer scale of the redwoods. It kind of put your view of yourself and everything in a strange perspective. You took in a lungful of clean forest air, listening to the sound of the birdsong and the cool breeze wrestling through the underbrush, taking advantage of the space to move around freely. However you felt about being there, it was a totally different scene than sitting in that old car for hours and hours. We walked closer to Cove. Why would we keep our distance? We're like friends. You seemed tense when you approached, but he didn't move away. Eventually, he relaxed a little, and the two of you walked along in comfortable silence. Being here again, you couldn't help but reminisce on what else had happened during the trip you had taken here all that time ago. There were a lot of things that had reminded you of it recently. You looked over at Cove, who seemed to be lost in the peace of the place, and you wondered if any of it crossed his mind. Smiling at the sight, you thought back on when it had been a highlight of that long-gone vacation. Oh, should we bring back the anklet? Oh my gosh, that'd be funny. That was a revelation. Cove scratched out his face awkwardly and sighed, seemingly determined not to meet your eyes. I know you remember. I'm never going to hear the end of it from you, are I? I'm sorry, pardon? English, Ezryn? You gave a light shrug. Do you still like them? I do. I think they're pretty sexy. You laughed quietly, the sound nervous and a little strained. We continued chatting about the trip a little while longer, about the things you had seen and done and even eaten. A lot of the memories Cove had of the trip were similar to your own, but you were also surprised to hear of a few other things from his point of view. So much had happened, and there was no shortage of things to talk about. Sorry, I can't English. Your spirits were light as you ambled past information boards and picnic areas. But before long, you decided it was time to bring this short stop to an end and head back to the car to get on the road again. Cove sighed when you finally reached the vehicle, jangling the keys in the hand before unlocking the doors. I wish we didn't have to go, but we're going to be responsible and not stay longer than we should. How grown up of you. He smiled slightly, and with that, the two of you jumped into the car, buckled in, and he put it in drive. You were getting closer and closer to town as the sun started setting, though you were still far enough away that the radio stations were unfamiliar to you. Cove twisted the dial his way, and before stumbling onto a channel with a song he seemed to like, that was a rare gift from the fates in a sea of static, strange radio jockeys, and grating tunes. Oh, I actually like this. I like this perspective. I've never seen a perspective like this in the whole game. It looks really good. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. His face immediately brightened at the sound of it, and he drummed his fingers along the bottom of the steering wheel happily. Sitting back in his seat, he bopped his head and shimmied his shoulders in time to the tune, all while mouthing along the words. Occasionally, he even lifted one hand from the wheel to gesture with his fingers for a specific line. I think we chuckle at him. Looked over and rolled his eyes with a smile, clearly enjoying himself despite everything. The song ended and Cove reached over to start cycling through the radio stations again. Upon finding nothing tolerable, he flipped the dial off in a defeat and leaned back in his seat with a sigh. You rested your head on your hand and stared out the window as the sky darkened, watching the landscape slowly melt into more familiar views. The miles went on, and energy you had earlier was beginning to drain away. You imagined home? Oh, I get it. You imagined home and your family. You'd be there together soon. You know, I've spent all these years living in Sunset Bird and taking a few weeks each summer visiting my mom in that second room. That's not gonna happen anymore. Not really. I can still see my parents, but in the way it all works between us has changed forever. He paused, the silence stretching. A serious look settled on his face, his thoughts far away. I'm excited to be on the brink of real adulthood. Yeah, I think we're a little worried. So many things will be different. I'm hoping I'm ready for. Cove's mouth pulled into a tight line and he gave a small nod. You got the feeling that he was understood how you felt. Cove stared straight ahead down the road, long, long road. The path looked like it'd never end from where you were, but that wasn't true. Eventually, he found a few more words to say. I think it's good we were able to do this trip. Without any parents or chaperones, it was just us. We did it all. I don't know, I feel a little more independent now, a little more ready for what's ahead. I think we should agree with him. It's a real, oh my gosh, why did they word it like that? It's like a real first step to be our own all the time. It'll be here before we know it. The topic seemed to wear on Cove, and he made an attempt to find something else to speak on. So I'm kind of sad about getting back. I'm gonna miss having you right there tonight. He grimaced and leaned forward, his shoulders tense and his eyes hyper-focused on the road ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that to sound weird or anything. It's just nice to hang out. Yeah, that wasn't weird at all, Cove. That isn't strange. I can understand it. Cove gave you a small smile, one that you returned, and the two of you fell into a more comfortable silence. The sky outside grew even darker as the hours passed by, the stars blinking on like tiny fireflies painted into a canvas of blue. The scenery continued transitioning between open roads, industrial areas, and beach towns, becoming increasingly recognizable as time went on. You felt somewhat disconnected from the world around you as you watched it through your window, your tired mind growing hazy. It was strange, reflective feeling, but peaceful nonetheless. Soon enough, the world would return to you and you'd find your feet firmly on the ground. It couldn't be helped. The adventure would end, life would continue, but your memories would linger on. Oh, that was it? Dude, that ended so abruptly. Well, guys, we did it. We got through the moment, which means we have 2 moments left next time we play to finish up, and then we can move on to step 4. And I think step 4 is the final chapter, right? It's like the final section of moments. Yeah, I think so. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Kana and Rance for the double raid. I miss you guys. I wanna play more with you guys sometime soon, whenever you're ready. And yeah, I hope you guys are sleeping well right now. I know you probably are resting. But I appreciate you guys, and thanks to everyone who followed and got us to 100 followers. That's so exciting. It's a whole milestone that I didn't even know we'd reach anytime soon. So thank you so much. I had so much fun, and I don't think I'm going to be able to play Sims this week because I think that's what I'm going to do for my Christmas video. So since I missed yesterday due to my appointment, I think I'm gonna wait until probably next week to do the Christmas special. I think I'm gonna play Sims and maybe just do some other fun stuff if you guys want to. But that's what I kind of have. I'm all about comfy streams, so I think that'll be comfy and fun to do. Plus, I haven't played Sims in a minute. Ember used to come on Discord and tell me how I was playing Sims. She would call me out on playing Sims. But I haven't played in a while. Yesterday I played Stardew and I reached so many goals, which was super fun. I unlocked the greenhouse and I unlocked the sewers. I unlocked a lot of things all yesterday night, which I probably should have filmed it or something because it's the first time I've ever reached those goals. But I do plan on playing Stardew next week with Ember if she's still able. She's having a anniversary today, celebrating, so I won't be bothering her about that today. But yeah, I hope we are able to play Sims and Stardew next week. And I will have the schedule up probably soon because it'll probably be up after I get off work tomorrow because I'll be able to actually look at the schedule. But thanks for listening to me in the beginning talk about my incident and everything I'm going through. I appreciate all the support and kind words that you've shared, and yeah, I can't wait to spend the holidays with you guys and just continue to grow with you all. I did tweet a little bit. Here, I'll probably turn this off. I did tweet a little bit ago. I think it was a couple days ago, maybe yesterday. I don't remember, but Twitter, with its whole changes, all the changes that Elon Musk has made, it's really affected how I progress. So it's kind of halted that entirely. So being able to come on here and meet new people has always been my goal, and so I don't know where I'll be going if Twitter continues to, you know, change into this, but I do still plan on streaming. I still plan on uploading videos and being on TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, our definition of love video that was posted is our new most viewed video on TikTok that we have. So that's pretty exciting. I think we have a little over 70 followers right now. So thank you guys for all the support over on TikTok. That was pretty cool. I do have a new video up on over there if you want to check it out. It's a pretty short one. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm so excited to do our little comfy Christmas stream coming up soon. Alright guys, I'm gonna get off of here, but I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you hopefully probably next week, unless I do a surprise stream this week. But I'm pretty busy with appointments and work, so that might not be a possibility, but maybe, just maybe. Alright guys, hope you have a great day. Bye!